Welcome back to Frames and Flops. It's your boy. Here we are, 2 episodes deep into 2022 and 7 episodes in total. I really appreciate everyone who takes the time out to listen to my country butt ramble on about video games and tech news you probably don't even care about. Today, y'all gonna hear me talk about Returnal. Returnal is a game developed by Housemarque and one of the only few exclusive PS5 games available right now, until later this year, that is now. So let's hop right into the story, which will be short and sweet, I promise. So the story, I'm honestly not even sure what the story is about, and y'all can blame that on me being top garbage and not not getting through enough of the story to unlock the plot. All I know is that you're a woman named Celine who happens to be an astronaut, and you stranded on a planet and you stuck in a loop. Of course, I watched videos, read articles of what the game is about, but I suck, so I won't be able to experience none of that for myself. Short and sweet, like I said. So now let's talk about the gameplay and the mechanics. So in Returnal, you start with a pistol and a dash. And that's all you got to try to kill your enemies and get around the map. So as you go along, you end up finding artifacts that help boost your abilities, and there's other unlockable skills and mechanics that you pick up. And it does help make the game just a little bit less miserable. Now, it's only happened once for me in one of my runs, but there's parasites that latch on to you. They give you a boost, but it also has a negative effect too. You also find different guns to use that are way better than the pistol, but I've only been able to get something like a assault rifle and a shotgun. I'm sure there are some other better guns, but I won't be able to experience none of them. Each gun has a primary firing mode, then a charge shot that deals a lot of damage. But you got to be wise when you use that charge shot, because there's a cooldown to when you can use that charge shot again. And eventually, I unlocked the melee weapon, and it's a sword. It's a glowing red sword, but you use that pretty sparingly. It's mostly used to get past barriers and break certain enemy shields. And it's powerful now, but being up close to enemies is not very wise because they'll tear you up. Now, as I went along, I unlocked the ability to use fast travel doohickey, and it'll take you to certain spots in the map or the biome that you've already unlocked. So if you're in one spot on the map and you want to go way back to a beginning spot of the map, granted you didn't die, you can use this little fast travel thing. And then there's a quick teleporter, and it'll get you to a higher or lower area on the map that you're currently on. So it won't take you to a different area, but the area that you're in, it'll take you higher or lower. And it's pretty cool little effect to it. So the game is beautiful for sure, no doubt about that. And it feels fluid with the speed of the game, because it's all about moving fast, jumping, dodging, dashing. And since it's a PS5 only game, you can only play it on the SSD. And man, let me tell y'all, there are no load times. When you boot the game up, you just in the game. There's no menu, there's no settings. You just load the game up as a quick little cutscene, and you're ready to die, essentially. Now, I gotta shout out the DualSense, because it does highlight how dope of a controller it is with the haptic feedback. So, even though I sucked at this game, I'm looking forward to seeing how other games in the future optimize with the DualSense. This game, Returnal, is what they call a rogue-like or light. I still don't know which one is the right one to say, and I still don't really fully know what it means. But the premise with those types of games is that you're supposed to play, die, play, die, play, and die until you master the game and beat it in one sitting. So you start it, and then you just fly through everything and beat it all at once. So when you die, you start from the beginning. What? the cool guns, the artifacts, the fast travel spots you find while you doing your run, you lose all that. All that's gone when you die. Then you can't be slick and try to memorize the map because the areas, the arenas, they all change, and the enemies that spawn, those are different each time too. So you can't try to say, well, I know where to go. I know which enemies I'm gonna have to fight. I'm gonna play it this way. It's gonna change on you. Now, granted, it's a limited amount of enemies, the same type of enemies, but it ain't gonna be the same exact enemies on the same exact little area that you're in. But one good thing Housemarque did is they patched in the feature to where you can suspend gameplay. Say, you gotta, the toilet's calling, you hungry, you gotta go to work, your baby fell out the crib. You can suspend you can suspend the game and then put your PS5 in rest mode. And then once you start the PS5 up, you'll end up playing the game where you left off. Now, there's a caveat to that. Don't turn your PS5 off or try to play another game thinking that you'll be able to just pick back up, because there's really no save. The only thing that you keep is ether, but we'll talk about that later. But moving on, as far as more of the systems and gameplay, now there's supposed to be a gun affinity system, but I'm not certain about that because I don't get far enough. But apparently, the more you stick with a gun, the more affinity you gain with that gun. But I guess that's specific to a run, and I couldn't tell you. And another system they got is called adrenaline. So as you start killing enemies and putting out damage without taking damage yourself, you gain stacks of adrenaline that help boost your gameplay. However, when you take damage, the adrenaline meter resets. So you got to be perfect, dog. You got to be perfect. You can't take no damage. So you shooting, all these little balls is flying at you. You trying to jump, dodge, use your melee, use your charge gunshot and all that good stuff. Soon as you take a little bit of damage, they reset that. That's anywho. The only thing, like I said, the only thing earlier that you keep when you start over is the ether you collected. Now, ether is a resource you can use to cleanse objects that you want, but they may be infected or malignant. It does a few other things, but I won't know because I stink. So usually this is where I would say what's bad about the game, but I honestly can't form a true opinion about what's good or bad because I just did not have a good experience with this game, just to be real with you. So that brings us to the rating. Is Returnal some fire, mid, or Reggie? For me, JShine, King Swisher, Returnal is some straight Reggie. It's not a flop, but it's a Reggie to me. However, I'm going to be a true reviewer and be unbiased just for y'all. In reality, for someone who likes these types of games, Returnal, I'd say it's a mid. And, hell, it's probably fire to a lot of folks, but it's not made for a casual gamer or someone who's not really versed in these roguelike types of games to pick up because it doesn't hold your hand at all. So, in my opinion, that's probably why the game didn't get as much love and hype as it probably should have been, because it's a beautiful game. The visuals are dope. I ain't seen a lot of gamers that look like this. It's fluid. It's polished as hell. So I didn't have any stuttering, no bugs. It's a very polished game. And hey, if this is your type of game, if you like something that's hard, something you can try to master, if you like Demon Souls or Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Hades or any other of them games that they call a roguelike or liked, you'll have fun with this for sure. And that's all I got to say about Returnal. This is one of the quickest reviews I've ever done. Oh, God. gosh. But anywho, and this is a disclaimer. We're moving on to news, but if you watching this on YouTube, you just gonna see gameplay footage. I'm still learning the ins and outs of this YouTube stuff. So as I talk about news, I don't know what I can take or capture that's other people's properties, other companies' properties, and not get in trouble myself. So I don't want that smoke, and I ain't gonna try to ask for that smoke until I get my level up, get some more credibility, and try to get some codes or passes or media passes or whatever the hell they use. I don't know, but I'll just link. I'll link whatever I'm talking about in the description of YouTube, and y'all can go look at it yourself. But I'm not taking that risk right now. Anywho, Samsung, they introduced what they call the Freestyle. Now, it's a portable projector, but it's not what you think. It rotates 180 degrees on this base that it's sitting in, and the picture, it scales from small up to 100 inches, and it looks clear all the way up that high. And if you don't have a white screen to use like most projectors need, it has smart technology to adjust to whatever color that you're projecting on and play just fine. That's pretty dope. Has a built-in speaker. You can mirror what you're watching on TV in another room to that projector and watch the same thing in a different room. Man, look, that's dope. So you also can screw it into a fixture like a light bulb and have it hanging upside down. And then you can project on the table or on the floor, looking like doggone some Marvel movie type stuff. It's slick. So they had a demo showing virtual learning. It's dope. Then they have little caps that you can put on and have mood lighting, change the mood, set the mood, get the mood right, play music, and you can shuffle through photos. It's a dope little damn device, and I can't wait to see Apple copy it and then claim to be the best version. But anywho, it can be yours for the low price of $800. Oh man, hey, it sounds like it's worth it. I ain't got it, but if I did, I'd go buy it. I like it. It's pretty slick. And moving on, God of War PC releases this week. So God of War, the new version that got released on PS4 back in 2018, they have a PC port with upgraded frames and resolutions and widescreen and all that good stuff. So if you an Xbox person, or you have let's say it like this. If you are an Xbox person, but you also happen to have a PC and not a PlayStation, you can buy this PC version and play the most modified and graphically tuned version of the game on your PC. It's not on Xbox or nothing like that, but I'm just speaking to the people that refuse to join the greatness that is Sony. And if you have a PC, of course. And also, we found out, speaking of Xbox, we found out that they completely have stopped making the Xbox One and Xbox One. Oh, God. See, this naming convention. Xbox One, not Series X, but the Xbox One X, whatever the hell it was, the one before this current gen, they stopped making them so they can start to really focus production on the Series S and Series X. So hopefully, if you've been waiting for one, you might get one sooner rather than later. And that's the news. So the memory of the week. We're going to shout out the Georgia Bulldogs for beating the Crimson Tide. I honestly did not see that coming because Bama whooped their tail in the SEC championship game in December. So, hey, shout out to them for beating the big boys. And because of that memory, I want to talk about, because of that occurrence, this memory is dedicated to me and my homies playing NCAA football when we were young and dumb and full of energy. And this led to a lot of heated arguments and a lot of salt in the air and people not speaking to each other for extended periods of time. Oh man, so this had to be probably 2007, 2008, and this was when Tim Tebow was on the cover of the game of NCAA, and me and my boy Enoch, man, let me tell you, Enoch, he loves some damn Tim Tebow. And Enoch is not what I would call a gamer, but he loves sports, and he'll play 2K or Madden every so often nowadays. But you know, he's unassuming. Well, me and a lot of the other homies that we grew up together as from kids. We went to the same high school, and we ended up going to the same college, South Carolina State University. Shout out to my fellow Bulldogs. Enoch and I were roommates, and then two of our other childhood friends, they were roommates, and they were a dorm across from us. So a lot of times we would go over there because they had a bigger room, and we would pile up in the room and play NCAA. And then a lot of other people in the dorm would come through and try to get in, and just regular rules. Loser passes the mic, first one to 21 gets skunked. All that. It's just regular stuff. And when it was finally Enoch's turn, he would get Florida. And the only damn play he would run is the quarterback blast, left, right, or middle. And then every blue moon, he would do a fake pass and a fake quarterback option, a play action, and then get a big play. And it was so cheesy, but you just couldn't stop it. I mean, you knew what was coming, but for some reason, Tebow was just damn unstoppable in that game. So he bust through the line and gained 10 yards and just started yelling, Tebow, Tebow. Boy, talk about some salt. It was so bad that one of our other childhood friends went to Clemson, Kendall. He came down one time. Now, Kendall is the gamer out the crew. Now, I love games and whatnot, but Kendall now, he's a master. He can, any game that he pick up, he can master that game. And we never could beat him. None of us could beat him in Madden or NCAA or Halo. He would just make fun of us. But Enoch, I think Enoch beat him or came real close to beating him. He had him sweating pretty much. And they ain't talked for a long time after that. Because he just could not believe that he lost to Enoch to damn a cheesy Tim Tebow strat. But it happened. And that's just, I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate to that or have a story, something similar to that. Maybe it came to blows. I've seen that happen too. Not with us, but in different circles. So that's my memory of the week. If y'all don't mind, how about y'all share some of y'all memories about some heated arguments or fights over Madden or 2K or NCAA. Let's all reminisce on the good times when life was just a little bit more simpler. And here we are. This is compared to the last episode, we way short. I don't have much to say about Returnal, but if you like it, check it out. I got it on sale. It's probably still on sale. So if that's something you're interested in, check it out. That's it. Thank you all for hanging with me. I hope your 2022 has started off better than you hope. And if it's not, then I hope it's not worse than it was for you this time in 2021. It's still a little wild out there in the world, but maybe it's getting better for people. I hope my podcast is bringing you some smiles and some good energy, and we'll just keep pressing forward. Y'all be great, and y'all going to hear from me again soon. Next week, I'm going to talk about God of War PC. Frames and flops. We out.
Thank you all for tuning in to Frames and Flops. Bye-bye.